Hey everybody, welcome to Aniki, the podcast about anime with two brothers. I'm Ben.
I'm Chap.
You know, we had an episode in season 1 where you started out with chips and Mountain Dew and your wife wasn't home.
Well,
I see we have not progressed since then.
my wife is home, and these aren't Doritos.
Oh, okay. Well, you've grown up a little bit.
Munch.
We've all matured since then, I assume.
I suppose. I mean, I own a house now. Hold on. I hope you can hear how delicious that is.
I can. What kind are they?
The Simply Lays with sea salt. They are very good.
Ooh. Too bad they don't have vinegar as well.
Vinegar on chips is gross.
No, you're gross.
I mean,
salt and vinegar is the best.
I was going to say I was Lonely Rolling Star because I've been listening to lots of Katamari music, but then I needed to open my chaps, so.
I see. So, what unchips related things have you done the last week that are possibly related to our podcast in any way at all?
We started watching Kamen Rider W.
Oh, is there a new Kamen Rider out?
No. Technically, the current Kamen Rider is still X8. We're watching W. Every time I say
where does that
I'm
fall in
making
the
a W
timeline?
with my hands. It is 2 seasons before Forza.
I don't know where that falls. Where's Forza in the grand scheme of things? Is that
Forza was their 45th anniversary.
Okay, so
it was like 4 or 5 years ago. So this is about 7, 8 years ago. W. I make a W with my fingers every time I say that, by the way. Its gimmick is noir.
Oh.
Well, its theme is noir. Its gimmick is that it's one Kamen Rider made out of 2 people. So they're split down the middle, and each person can have a different ability. Like one person can be wind, and the other person can be fire, and it's split down the middle. It's pretty cool. Also, it's noir, so I mean,
I can't tell if that's better or worse than one Kamen Rider is the rider and one's the bike.
That does happen in X8, and that is rad as heck.
Yes, I remember that much. And I remember you talking about Forza, like, in season 1 of our show.
Yeah, Forza's really good. Go watch Forza. Its theme is space and friendship, but mostly space and friendship.
Friendship space.
And the most American high school in Japan.
That's surprising. Are they suing everybody? Because that's normally what happens whenever Japan talks about America. Somebody's suing someone.
Oh no. Like, it's not like knocking America. It's the high school they go to is just like an American high school, not like a Japanese high school at all. It's actually pretty funny to watch. Just because of that weird little thing. Because it's directed by a guy that worked on choreography for a lot of Power Ranger shows.
So he's over here a lot?
Yeah.
Or at least got to see a lot of what Power Rangers seemed to think high school was about, which was hanging out in the cafeteria like all the time.
Always. God. Yeah, we're just a couple episodes into W, but it's pretty good.
That's good.
The characters are all real solid. I like them all.
So I've only had time to do a couple things this week.
Oh.
One is I watched another episode of Mahoutsukai no Yome. That's the ancient mage's wife. Or bride, I guess.
Figuring that out in my head, but yes.
Yes. Still delivering on what I thought it would be. I don't know where it's going. It seems like it's trying to be a slice of life. But it's also a 26 episode show. So it could just be setting stuff up still.
Could be.
But I don't know. It kind of reminds me of Clamp a little bit. Maybe just it's the art style and the eyes. But
does it have a long time coming?
No.
Come on, you know that.
I don't actually.
The XXXHolic anime?
I didn't actually watch that because I don't like Clamp.
A Long Day?
No. Let me put it to you this way.
Long Day.
I dropped Clamp as soon as I finished watching Ayashi no Ceres. Like, I was done with Clamp after that.
Shoot. Well, there's this picture of like a Clamp boy that's like 98% leg, just like stretching out, and it says, "I've had a long day." I'm sure it can be Googled somewhere.
Clamp,
I binged it like a fool.
Long. Oh, there's long legs.
Long Day.
Holy
anime.
shit! I did find a thing Is this what you're talking about? This guy that made lunch?
Well, that is part of it, yes.
Okay. Well, apparently he made lunch, and he looks very much like a...
Well, there's a picture of him like lying down, and I've had a long day. But yes, that is from the same.
Is that
nonsense.
XXXHolic?
I think so.
Ew. I'm glad I never watched it then.
Yeah, the manga's supposed to be pretty good, but the anime is notoriously terrible. Mostly due to animation.
Well, I can see that. Yes, it's like a Salvador Dali elephant, basically.
Oh, hold on. This is actually relevant. In my roleplay server, somebody was talking about bad pickup lines in character, and one of their characters is like a super like literalist, like weirdo nerd, and this was their like pickup line.
Please read it for us.
Oh golly, your legs are very attractive and go on for metaphorically days, which is a horrifying image because it implies that you could either walk for many days without stopping, which does make sense seeing as humans are predaceous predators, but it also means to imply that your legs are very long. This is remarkably similar to Han Solo saying that he did the Kessel Run in parsecs, which is not a unit of time. Days is not a unit of length. However, I suppose if your legs were stretched out for an equal measurement over time, they would be miles long indeed, and that would be equally horrifying.
That is quite a pickup line.
Not very good.
Who does that work on, though?
Evidently, these guys.
Unrelated, in my clamp search for clamp long legs, I also found this.
That's the best image I've ever seen on the internet. I'm 100% for this. I'm going to share that with my anime nerd friend because it's amazing.
For those who are not in the know, I'm going to put this in the show notes because literally words cannot describe.
No, they really can't. This is the most Shaft thing I've ever seen. It is a playoff of, oh shoot, I've already forgotten the name of the show.
Euphonium?
UFO. Yeah, UFO.
Yeah. So one of the other things I've done this week is...
Yes.
I was recommended to me because, both of us really like Aku no Hana. And
Aku no Hana. Oh, yes. Aku no Hana. I do love me some Aku no Hana.
It's not actually related specifically to Aku no Hana, but someone recommended actually quite a while ago to me that there was a anime that came out recently called Kuzu no Honkai that apparently has an Aku no Hana twist in it. Apparently they watched a couple episodes and thought it was pretty dull, but then all of a sudden it's kind of like the first or second episode of Aku no Hana where the dude steals the gym clothes of the one girl.
Sure, I was gonna say there's a twist in Aku no Hana because
it's not really a twist. It's like the thing that sets the Aku no Hana theme in motion. It's got one of those. I hadn't watched it yet, and I finished some other shows, so I was like, well, I guess I'll give this a try, and I watched an episode, but this particular event, whatever it is, has not occurred yet. It does have an interesting premise, and the premise is there's two...
Attractive spit?
There's no attractive spit. There's no spit at all, as far as I can tell. But
that's unfortunate.
There's a dude and a girl. They're in high school. They both love other people, and they recognize that about each other, but the other people are in love with each other, so they have no chance. So they're like, well, we'll pretend to be a couple until we can figure out how to get the ones that we actually want. So it does have the Aku no Hana spark in it. It's like, this is not going to end well for anybody.
That sounds like people offering to, practice with the guy from School Days.
Kind of, but I haven't seen any School Days-esque stuff yet. Not to say that there isn't any, but I haven't seen it. But yeah, I've only seen one episode, so I've been told that the particular event happens in episode 4, so I'm going to at least watch until then. And then
that's fair. I'm telling you, it's going to School Days itself.
I don't know that that's necessarily a bad thing.
You're going to end up with nice boats for days.
Well,
toot toot. Toot toot. Brings a whole new meaning to having a preferred ship.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, and we all know my problem with yanderes. So,
do you have a problem with them?
In the same way, my wife has a problem with monster boyfriends.
I guess yanderes are a form of monster girlfriend.
Now that you think about it. Yeah, but it's completely the opposite, right? Because like a yandere is monstrous on the inside, where the whole point of a monster boyfriend is that they're a kind-hearted soul on the inside.
So they're somewhat redeemable.
So it's like like a completely opposite.
And that's why the two of you make a whole.
I suppose so.
Yeah. Let's see. The only other thing I have news-wise is I'm kind of late to the party on this one, apparently. But someone in Japan had an amazing idea.
Oh.
So Let's Plays are a thing that certain people enjoy, right? Someone decided, okay, well, people love Let's Plays. People in Japan love Miku Miku Dance. And we have this Kinect laying around.
Oh my.
So what if we got a Japanese voice actress, put her in front of a Kinect, hooked that up to Miku Miku Dance, and basically created a 3D anime character that did Let's Plays on YouTube and was super smug about the whole thing.
Huh.
And
I'm
so
curious.
So they made that thing. And that thing is called Kizuna AI.
I for AI.
AI, yeah. It's actually pretty hilarious because I hate Let's Plays, and I've actually watched like 3 of them in the last couple days.
Fascinating. I may have to indulge. And I like Let's Plays. Well, it depends on the Let's Player.
Well, this particular Let's Player is... I don't know who the voice actress is, but let's say that it's kind of akin to the voice actress that was in the taxi cab prank that I showed you a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, just very excitable about everything.
Pretty excitable, except she's like smug, like the Wendy's Twitter, kind of like that.
Oh, yes.
But she's playing games. I watched one where she was playing the game Inside. Okay. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's like a horror-esque game. And you have to dodge things or else you're dead. And anytime she would get shot, she'd be like, well, that's just the way it goes. But anytime she found a way to hide, she would say, ore tensai desu. Ore tensai. Which means, I'm a genius. I'm so smart. I'm so good at this. And then she gets shot. But it's pretty funny. Some of them are just purely in Japanese, like all the audio's in Japanese, but some of them only have Japanese subtitles, which apparently is a really good way of learning the language. Some of the more recent ones are also subtitled in English. So I'll send you this one that I was watching before we started. She's playing a game where you are basically playing a Mario character and it's a platformer, but the only way to move is to be loud or quiet with your voice.
Huh.
She decides that the best way to go about it is to do a sexy voice. She's not good at a sexy voice. She thinks she is, but she's not. I have simple humor needs.
Yeah, no, I know.
Sorry to disappoint.
Oh no. You never have to convince me of anything. Just yourself.
Just myself. Sorry. So before we go forward, do you have any since we're still in the month of October and Halloween is upon us, do you have any scary anime recommendations?
Did we ever actually recommend the Castlevania anime? I've not seen it, but it's supposed to be quite good.
We have not yet.
And spoopity.
That's a good one. I like that. I haven't seen it either.
Hey, what about what is it? Morbo is Witches.
Morbo is Witches?
Morbo is Witches.
I have not heard of this.
Oh, come on now. It was real popular ages ago. Nuts.
I have Googled Morbo is Witches and found nothing.
Witch Hunter Robin, right?
Oh, yes. I know Witch Hunter Robin, which was very disappointing.
Isn't that the one where Morbo is Witches?
Well, you have to remember, I watched that one back in 2004?
Yeah.
That's a long time ago.
I think that's the one where Morbo is Witches. I don't know if it's any good. I just like saying Morbo is Witches.
Yeah, Witch Hunter Robin, it had promise, and then it was just really, really boring.
So like Pumpkin Scissors.
Pumpkin Scissors had a lot of promise. I wouldn't say it was boring.
And then just did the same thing for every episode.
Okay, so here's the thing. So let's say each of those shows is like a car, right? Witch Hunter Robin would have started out fast and then slowed to about 20 miles an hour and never stopped until he eventually ground to a halt. Pumpkin Scissors started out at 30, went up to 60, and then hit a brick wall. That's how that went.
Yeah, well,
it was just
that's depressing.
Yeah, it's like, is this gonna finish? You've opened up like 8 plot threads. How many are you gonna close? Oh, none of them. Okay, well,
I mean, that's a lot of
thanks.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you'd have to come up with a story and
exactly right. Like that's hard. That's work.
That's a lot of like brain power you got to think about.
Yeah, that's true.
I was gonna say one of the scariest ones I've seen is Higurashi.
Higurashi's good. I wouldn't necessarily call it. I mean, it's horror, but it's not like scary. It's like slashery.
It's pretty psychological, especially the first couple of arcs.
If you can get over the quality animation.
Yes, well, that's horrific in and of itself.
It is, isn't it? I mean, we could talk about Umineko. It was way better. That anime's a mess.
Well, at least it had, what's his name? Jinko? Is that his name? Django?
What? No, you mean Ginkgo?
Is that his
name?
Right?
No. Ginzo. Who's Norio Wakamoto, if I recall correctly.
No, actually, the singer, Ginzo.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, for, Yami wo Kirisaku.
No desire.
Kirisaku. Oh, desire.
Oh my goodness. Who sang that? Because he's an actual singer with a real band.
I mean, how can you not love Yami wo Kirisaku o Desire?
I love it.
Everyone loves Yami wo Kirisaku o Desire. The best is the little bird.
Yes, the bird definitely nails it for me. Especially when you have to sacrifice sheep to gods.
I mean, it's very important that you do such a thing. I should really watch that again. It's really bad. The VN is supposed to be super good, but just like the anime was just an utter mess.
Yes. I mean, the only saving grace literally is the ending theme.
Yeah. I came around to loving it because it got to the point where it's like, this is so utterly ridiculous.
Yeah, I've never actually watched it. I've only seen the ending theme and all of the riffs on it.
It's a treat. You should really try to get through it. It's bananas.
All right, let's do some Yamishibais. Speaking of Yami-o Kirisakus.
寄ってらっしゃい、見てらっしゃい。闇芝居の時間だよ。
So I guess this week, I will go first. If you are
following along, if you have Netflix or the DVDs.
Well, if you're following along, and at least you have Crunchyroll, at the very least.
Yeah, no, that's true.
All the Yamishibais are on Crunchyroll, and the links to the ones that we actually watched this week, I will have in the show notes, so you can watch before we spoil everything for you. All 4 minutes of each.
Now, when you say all of the ones, even the ones that we watched that we deemed unworthy of our audio glory?
Yes, even those.
Okay, good.
Which is basically all of Season 3, unfortunately.
Yeah, Season 3 is not good.
I don't know what happened. I don't know why.
No, I kind of like the opening, because it's like creepy in a different way, but still, yeah. So far, I've not seen a one from Season 3 that's been really, like, solid.
Actually, come to think of it, I feel like Season 3 is more akin to the way American ghost stories generally go, at least modern ones. It's like some kids go in a house, it's creepy, and then
they die.
And then you see this monster that is just so absurd that it's hilarious. And then the story's over.
Yeah, that's definitely how mine was. Mine was he goes swimming in a pool, horrible hair monster, which is like, okay, hair in a pool, creepy. And then pretty lame monster, and you're like, oh, all right.
Yeah, when I did my random roll and got a Season 3 one this week, I'm not gonna go over that one, but essentially he's in a creepy hospital, and in the end, he's dissected by nurses that are just basically giant thumbs with mouths. The end. I would avoid Season 3. Just pretend it doesn't exist.
Now, horror is extremely subjective.
That's true.
There'll be horror stories that some people just love and I'll just hate to death. So it just sort of depends what kind of horror you're into. If you like really bizarre monster designs, then that really like gets you, then
yeah,
season 3 could be your jam.
Could be, but a lot of the monsters in season 3, and I've seen a couple episodes, are mostly big mouths with very large, not even pointy teeth. That seems to be the theme. But the episode that I am going to share with you today is from season 2. It's episode 6 called
6
Nao-chan.
All right, walk me through this step by step.
All right,
Nao-chan, and it's now in katakana, BT dubs.
it is.
I don't know if that actually matters to the story, but it means we don't get any kanji corner.
That's true. We don't have any kanji corners this time. So this particular story is about a particular boy and his family. And in fact, the entire story takes place within a single room. It takes place in a normal apartment, like very low rent, very simple, like maybe 4 to 6 tatami mat room. That's it. So kind of like what we talked about last week, only this time the neighbors, I assume, are fine because none of them are abducted. At least not by the neighbors. But we start with the family lying on their futons on the ground, ready to go to bed. And the dad...
I already see where this is going. Oh no. Oh no. Please no.
There's a dad. There's a little boy that sleeps between them. The dad is entertaining the boy before bed, giving them a little like shadow puppet show.
Yeah, see, I'm already like, please no, thank you. Because like, my biggest like real life worries are like, oh, a shadow that shouldn't be there that's moving.
Mm-hmm.
I'm upset by that. And then also, as noted before, the window thing.
Which window thing is that?
That's the having really high windows nobody could possibly look in, but somebody's looking in it.
Uncool. That is uncool.
Uncool. I'm not for that.
I thankfully do not have high windows. I do not share.
Yeah, we have a couple at the new house.
I wouldn't look at those
please,
then.
Please don't.
Just don't look that way.
Please no. I would prefer not to. I think it's because so in the house we grew up in, right?
Uh-huh.
For a lot of the time, like through like teenage and high school, I slept right next to that window that had the sheer ledge on it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Right?
Yeah.
So like some weird primal thing is like, what if somebody just like looks in that window? They couldn't look in that window.
So you just wake up in the middle of the night, you look at that big high window, and there's
just someone or something
silhouette
looking in at you, and you're like, but that can't be there. There's a sheer wall. It just goes down. It's too tall. Too tall. Please no, thank you.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, thankfully, at least there are no high windows in this one.
Yeah.
I will promise nothing else.
Which is awesome.
So, Dad, like normal, he's, doing the little puppet show. He's got a little monster puppet with one hand. It's not very complicated. It's just, your normal Wani, basically, your crocodile. He's got another hand that's like sword fighting the crocodile back, and they're having a good old time. And then the mother's like, come on, let's go to bed. So they go to sleep. But in the middle of the night, the child, who has not fallen
Nao-chan?
asleep yet, his name is not Nao-chan.
No, he is not the titular Nao-chan.
He is not. But he's looking up at the ceiling, and
yeah, I don't like this.
there are shimmers going across the ceiling where the shadows once were. And it's all dark, but they are sort of coalescing right above him. And what's odd about this is that he's looking up at these shadows coalescing right above him.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of being freaked out, he's got this tranquil smile on his face. And he sort of asks into the ether, Nao-chan? Is that you? So the next morning or night or something, the child has already fallen asleep, but the parents are still awake, and the father's reading a book, and mom looks over at him and is like, hey, do you happen to know anybody named Nao? He's like, no. I don't actually. And she's like, that's weird, because lately he's
brother.
Yes.
Brother.
Yeah.
If he didn't know him then, he knows him
now.
There you go.
Thank you. Yeah.
Everyone's a critic.
Yep. But mom is like, well, lately he's been staring at the ceiling in the middle of the night and just been saying now over and over and over. And I don't know what he's talking about. Is that like a friend of his? Has he made up an imaginary friend or something? Because he's with me all day normally, and he doesn't really go outside much. And he only does this weird stuff at night. I'm kind of weirded out by this.
Yeah, as anyone should be. Invisible friends in media is like, you know that's like, you know it's a demon. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's never just an invisible friend. It's always like a Loki-esque god or something.
Or a Babadook.
Or a Babadook. But as she's saying this, all of a sudden, the kid wakes up and he's like, oh, he's actually right there. He's like, what are you talking about? And we find out the kid's name. His name is Takun. And they're like, wait, what do you mean he's right there? Like, now? Where is he specifically right now? And he's like, he's right there. He points up at the ceiling. And of course they both look and nothing's there. It's just a blank ceiling. And they're like, I don't see anything. So the dad's sort of like, he does his little puppet show. He's like, oh, he's making fun. He's doing a good goof.
This is needlessly antagonistic.
Yeah.
Don't pretend to shadow puppet eat Nao-chan. If Nao-chan is a horrible shadow beast, don't do that thing.
Well, you don't know that he's a horrible shadow beast, but we just cut outside to the cat again. By the way, the cat has a really weird meow.
Yeah, so it does.
Can you hear the meow? It's not quite
good.
cat-like.
It's more like those. It's more like the cat growl.
Yeah. So again, this night, Takun is looking at the ceiling and watches the shadows coalesce back into what he considers to be Nao. And this time we actually get to see his face. And apparently Takun hasn't seen this before because he is freaked.
Yeah, no, I would be too. Please not that.
So the face looks like, how to describe this?
No thank you.
So if you've ever seen like a, what is that? Like an ultrasound of like a baby. You know, they've got that little face with the squished nose and the weird mouth and their eyes are closed.
Oh yeah, kind of.
So imagine instead of the eyes were closed when you took that ultrasound, the eyes were wide open and staring at you. That's what this face looks like.
Yeah, no, I'm down for that.
And it slowly descends right over Takun. Closer and closer and closer. And you keep hearing, there's a reason I brought up the ultrasound noise because this thing's making a noise like a cooing baby a little bit. And it comes down towards Takun like it's gonna eat him.
Yeah.
But then it shifts over to the mom and then just goes into her face. And then we get a nice sunrise because it's the next day and everything's fine, right? It's just a figment of Takun's imagination.
Isn't everything? Isn't it always just a figment of their imagination?
And the mom is sitting up. Dad has just woken up. He's like, hey, what are you doing up? Is everything all right? And she's like, you know, that Nao guy? I was just thinking, you remember your friend from college? The one that, like, we were sort of friends with and we sort of met through them?
Yeah.
And he's kind of the reason we got married?
Yeah.
He actually died all alone because after we got married, we stopped talking to him.
Oh.
Yeah. Maybe because his name was Nao, actually. And then we cut to a few months later. And guess what?
That doesn't happen very often.
Takun is now a big brother. And they're showing him the little brother. And the little brother has this face. A face that we've maybe seen before.
Yeah, he does.
Guess what they've named him?
Nao-chan.
It's Nao-chan. The end.
They have a demon baby. It's got a time head. It's got a ghost head.
It's got a ghost head. It's delightful because it's got that whole, it's not really vengeance, but somehow justice has been served.
And it's also like, you don't know what that baby's gonna grow up and do.
That's true. What is that?
It's gonna be one of them Damians. And not the Save Sailor Moon whenever she's in trouble Damien. No. The other kind.
Yes, the ones that hatch from eggs. Yeah, you never want a demon baby of your college roommate that ended up dying all by himself,
Killing himself?
because
Yeah, all alone.
no one loved
yeah,
him.
no, that seems bad.
All alone with no one around who loved him.
That's not going to end well,
Because then you end up having him as a child.
I guess.
And that's just awkward for everyone.
That really is. I don't want to be a part of that.
So which episode did you watch?
Well, I watched, as I mentioned before, one of the ones from season 3, 312.
312.
It was also not very good.
Oh.
And the other one that it rolled up was actually episode 1-1.
1-1. The
1-1.
The very first one.
Yeah, no, it was a dog episode.
Dog episode.
Yeah, Wan Wan.
I get it.
Yeah, same.
Thank you.
I do what I can to keep people entertained. No, it was 1-1, the episode that started it all.
Yep.
The Talisman Woman. Yeah, all right. So, yeah, let's Mitereshai, Itereshai, Yamishibai no Jikandayo. So we're going to do that, and it is the Talisman Woman,
Yep.
the woman who is a talisman. No, wait. So we open up
Yeah.
as a guy is moving into an apartment. He's getting a fresh start on life. Like, so many of these things.
Uh-huh. I like how, I don't know if that's the last box off that truck or if that's the only box after that.
You know,
off
it
that
could
truck.
really be either. This is sort of Japan we're talking about here. So, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, you do what you can. By the way, he moves into a particular apartment,
Mm-hmm.
as is the way, because this is a story of a man who has moved into just such a particular apartment. And he goes in with his last box. No, he's got more boxes there. It's fine. See, like 3 or 4.
Yeah. And a little table. Good for him.
He sets it down and he's like, that's enough. Time to sit down in my tatami, have a nice rest. And hey, what's that on the ceiling?
Yeah, what is that on the ceiling?
Well, that's a spell tag.
Looks like an Ofuda to me.
Yeah, that's
That's
well,
no
that's
good.
It's a bit creepy. I don't want one of those hanging around. That's weird, and you know I don't believe in that garbage anyway. So he gets up, and as you get up, do you see the lady across the way?
Yeah, there's a lady across the way. So before he does anything
sure.
here, there's an Ofuda somewhere.
Yeah,
Number 1 rule:
yeah. Don't screw with it.
Don't touch it, and definitely don't take it off.
Well, hush you. This man is a man of the world and doesn't believe in all that spiritualist nonsense.
What a fool!
What a fool. Well, he gets up to take it down, and already through the window you can see a gaunt white figure with long black hair staring at him from across the street.
In many kimonos, apparently.
Yeah. And he just peels off the stupid spell tag because he doesn't believe in all that fool nonsense.
Well, yeah.
Like an idiot. Peels down, takes a look at it. He's like, oh, it's an Ofuda. Well, how about that? That's creepy and dumb. Not a big fan of that. Hey, who is that? Why is she? She couldn't possibly be looking into my apartment staring directly at me.
Dude, there's nothing else over here. She's looking at your apartment staring at you.
And he's like, well, maybe this house isn't as safe as I hoped. And he pulls the blinds. As one would if there's a creepy woman just staying on her balcony G-ing at you the entire time.
It's like, dude, you just ripped down an Ofuda and you see a creepy girl staring at you, you done goofed. Blinds ain't gonna help you now, son.
Yeah, no, pretty much. The only thing he could do worse is to like bang on the next door apartment and bug the neighbors. All right, so it skips the next. The next day he's taking out his trash after moving, and he looks up at the way across the street, and guess what? This time she's inside, staring at him.
Gee.
Like a jerk. And he's like, well, I'm not a big fan of that, and he just drops his bags of trash and just buggers right off.
Good.
We get a behind the shoulder shot of the woman. And you just see her long, gross black hair as she's just staring right where he was.
She needs better conditioner, obviously.
She does. Obs. He runs off, and then we skip to him getting off work and walking home with his little coworker guy. He's like, hey, could you please like help me unpack? Like come over and help me unpack? And his friend's like, yeah, no, I've got a date with my girlfriend, says the guy who has obviously never seen a woman before in his entire life.
That's true. He kind of looks like Neil Diamond from the 80s.
But yeah, he tries to explain there's a creepy woman living across the street who keeps watching me, so could you like come like unpack? That way I'm not like totally creeped out and stuff.
He's like,
He's
yeah,
like,
well,
no,
that's on you, dude.
That's nice. Just don't be late for work tomorrow. Bye.
I got things to do that don't involve creepy ladies.
Real friends help you move, even when it's super terrible, and they hate it, and you hate it, and everybody hates everything.
Okay, people help you move. People don't help you unpack after you have creepy women staring into your house.
Well, yeah, but it's safer. Safer in pairs.
I guess.
So the guy just like watches his friend walk off, which is a pretty sweet shot because he's like, really? It's that one emoji face.
Yes, that one.
It's 100% that one, right? Like, come on. So he gets back to his apartment and he, unlocks. Wait, no, he doesn't unlock the door because his door's open. He didn't lock it.
That's
I guess.
odd.
So he lays down his tatami and looks up and, well, wouldn't you know it, that stupid Ofuda's back. That's not
Maybe,
good or normal.
yeah, maybe.
So he, stands
no,
up
no,
to...
no. You leave it there. You already took it down. It's back. Dude,
Yeah.
someone did you a solid. Leave it there.
No, it's cool. So he gets up to, he slowly reaches his hand up to take it down. He reaches up and...
Where'd that come from?
You know exactly, right? So at this point, you may be thinking, yeah, so the horrible gaunt woman from across, that was staring at him from across the street is definitely in his aparto and scares the bejeebies out of everybody involved. Me, you, the guy in the cartoon, our listeners at home. And you're like, okay, well, there you go.
Oshimai,
the episode was
right?
a little short, but yeah, Oshimai. And it's like, no, it cuts to a sunset.
What's going on here?
The cops have been called. Turns out she was a regular human, just super gross and creepy.
What is with her face?
Yeah, she is super gaunt.
What's wrong with your face?
She's bad. She's bad news bears.
Ugh.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah, that
She's
definitely
just a
needs to
creepy
be
old
taken
woman.
away in a cop car.
Turns out she's just a creepy old woman who snuck into his home. But she's mouthing something in the back of the cop car as she gets driven off for breaking into a guy's home.
Yeah, because that's not cool.
So he goes home and he's like, well, I'm glad that that's done. And that woman even came in with her shoes, so now I have to clean my stupid tatami mats.
Always take your shoes off, kids.
Yeah, so he's cleaning up the floors and whatnot, and drifting down from somewhere is another one of those stupid spell tags.
Why is it falling from the ceiling?
It fell down from the bottom of the table, so he reaches up and flips over the table. It's just covered in the stupid Ofuda, just all over.
Not right.
Ominous at all? Well, he's pretty sick of this because now he just knows that it has to do with that stupid creepy lady from next door who is stalking him and being weird and creepy. So he does what any sane human would do and tears them all up.
Maybe okay.
Well, I mean, his reasoning here is solid.
I understand his
Gosh
reasoning.
darn it,
like,
what does she have against me? Like, maybe she was warding off from this new person across the way. Maybe she's just a creepy old lady who's like weird.
Even part of me that like sympathizes with that. It's like, dude, maybe just leave one of them.
Yeah, maybe just let it be.
Just to be safe. You know, you never know what's gonna happen. What's gonna come through your table now.
Well, yeah, I mean, it could just open up into a Fey realm where they just get you and you get got.
Yeah.
All right, so he peels them all up, you know. He tears off the last one and sighs to himself. It's like, thankfully, now they're all gone and I can finally live in peace. And he looks up. Oh, yeah, I don't see anything. Nothing's here. Everything's fine.
Everything's okay. Nothing's there.
Everything's
Oh,
normal.
no.
There aren't like 13 hanged people in this apartment or anything like that. Just imagining things. Not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-ish.
10 ghosts.
10 ghosts of hanged individuals all staring down at me from the ceiling. I definitely don't see that. So it's fine.
No, that's terrible.
Oshimai.
No. Turns out the old lady was helping him out.
The whole time. And then we get the best ending.
Yep, the Hatsune Miku being creepy.
Yeah.
Lesson learned, don't remove Ofudas.
Yeah, just don't.
Because if you remove one, you'll get an old lady in your house that you don't want, who's trying to put them back. And then if you remove that one, then, well, you know, ghosts eat you.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily. Ghosts just show up and you can't unsee them.
And that's what you get. That's what you
That's
deserve.
what you get for removing spell tags. Just don't, man.
If you see them, leave them where they are. Just move on.
You know, let sleeping dogs lie. Let Ofuda stick.
Got it.
There you go. So that's the one that started it all. Episode Wan Wan, the dog episode.
It's a good one. I like it.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty good.
Season 1, I feel like, has most of the solid ones.
Yeah, well, it has a really good twist in it, right?
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, well, that was the ghost.
Obviously.
These episodes are super short. But it's like, no, it goes on. We need to at least do 112, because that one's real good.
I do like 112. And
well, it'd be a shame if we go this whole month and neither of us talk about 112.
I'll be honest, I think the creepiest one in this season, besides 112, is probably 14.
Which one's 1-4?
Hair.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
That one's just unsettling.
You see, a lot of people are like super upset with like gross hair stuff, but you know, it's not something that bugs me much. So like,
I don't know.
I can appreciate good creepy hair stuff, but it's just not.
I think it's
really
the quantity.
Me. I mean, that's fair.
It's not the fact that there is hair. It's the fact that there's a lot of hair in one place where it shouldn't be.
I mean, that again, like that's fairly legitimate.
Yeah. There's also the one that you really liked that I didn't in season 1, which is the overhead rack.
Did I like that one?
Yeah, when you first recommended the show to me, you really liked that one.
Did I?
I
know Annie really liked it.
And I was like, I mean, it's okay, but I feel like it's kind of season 3-ish.
I mean, yeah, no, I can see that.
It's creepy, and then there's a monster at the end.
I think it's one of those things because the monster in that one is inactive, and it's one of those. Some people are super creeped out by the monster that just watches you and doesn't care about you. So there was this game on Wii.
Yeah,
it was like it was a diving game. It was just a game where you like swum around as a scuba diver, and you like took pictures of fish. It was super calming, but it is also the scariest game in the world.
Really?
Because not only could you go down to the abyssal zone, and go take pictures of all the creepy deep sea fangly fish, but everything was to scale in that game.
Oh.
So you could be swimming down to the abyss, and then a whale would just show up. Correct a scale, like sperm whale.
Okay.
And it would just swim by you in the dark, and it doesn't care about you.
Yeah.
It doesn't notice you because you're so far beneath it.
Oh.
And it's terrifying.
You
want to like alt-tab and nope out of that game so hard when a whale shows up because it's just so big.
What was it called?
And it so doesn't care. You know, I don't really remember. It's just like Ultimate Diver or something. It had lots of good buzz because it is like a really good game because it's got good motion control and it was really calming and it was like really interesting and fun. But it just like had some unwittingly unnerving parts. Like when a giant deep sea leviathan would just swim by you uncaring. It'd be almost better if it attacked you because at least then it like thought something of you. But it doesn't interact with you at all because you're so far beneath it.
So it's just like reminding you of your insignificance.
Yeah.
In the world.
Yeah. And it's just coming out of nowhere. You see it and then it goes to nowhere. And you're like, that's not.
Yeah, that's so weird.
No, thank you.
I'm good.
We should just name this episode No Thank You.
No, thank you.
Well, that's all I got. So I should probably stop this and eat some of my chaps.
More chaps.
And go watch Kamen Rider W.
Also, if you like Abyssal stuff, you should still watch Made in Abyss, because that's good.
I'm not quite sure that's the same.
It's not quite, but it's still good.
Because the Abyssal Zone and the Abyss are slightly different. One has deep sea fangly fish.
That's true. I don't know what's in the Abyss in the other one.
Things that were made there, I guess.
So next week, we'll probably, we'll finish up
one more
Yamishibai.
Yamishibai.
So see you next time.
All right. Yep. See ya. Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for listening. If you'd like to get in touch with us to leave comments or suggest future silly topics, you can contact us on Facebook or Twitter at Aniki Podcast. Or if you'd like to know more about the show and hear past episodes, check out our website at aniki.fm. See you next time on Aniki.